All right, guys. Well, I think we have a whole lot of stuff to talk about. I also feel like we've become very close friends over the past few days. We've been seeing a lot of each other. So welcome back. We are anticipating the arrival of a pretty potent tropical storm by this time tomorrow morning. In the meantime, I think you're going to enjoy a pretty nice Monday to kick off your work week. A few showers out there. This looked a little bit more impressive earlier on in the day. Some showers and thunderstorms moved through overnight, a lot of lightning, some thunder out there, but this is all going to fizzle, and we should see partly to mostly sunny skies settle in. Now, out to the west, this is a little bit more of an ominous situation. I mean, not really, but it is going to help the storm enhance its rainfall, especially over southeast Pennsylvania and right along the northeast corridor in New Jersey. So I-95, the turnpike and whatnot, because as this moves east, the storm's going to attach itself to it and you'll get frontal enhancement. None of that today. Mostly dry. If you have plans to be outside, go to the beach, you'll be a-okay. No issues in that department. But by tonight, we're going to have one round of rain come through. Some stronger thunderstorms can't be ruled out. This is actually associated with just a piece of energy, not the storm. By tomorrow morning at this time, here comes the heavier rain from Isaias moving in. Southeast Pennsylvania, and then the rest of South Jersey getting in on it. Northwest New Jersey, this is 10 o'clock in the morning. The heaviest wind and rain is going to come in probably between 10 and 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And it's a quick hitting round of both. By 1, here's your heavy rain. Right over I-95, right over Philadelphia. So I think the area that has the most concern for flash flooding is right in here. So northwest Burlington, Camden, Gloucester, maybe Salem, then on the other side of the Delaware River. Because look at that torrential heavy rain. The coast, honestly, you guys are going to escape the worst of this storm from pretty much every aspect except for the winds. You're likely going to see gusts 60, 70 miles an hour for a brief period of time. Then it's out of here. So it's a very quick moving storm. That is our saving grace. It is in and out. It doesn't really have a chance to build the tides up. In fact, the worst winds come between two high tides. You couldn't ask for a better situation. Now, I still think that there will be flooding at the coast, but it's not going to be the worst case scenario by a long shot. We currently have tropical storm warnings up and down the coast. Jersey Shore, all of Delmarva, North Carolina, South Carolina actually has a hurricane warning because we expect the storm to regain intensity right before it makes landfall at some point this evening. So our tropical storm warning is in effect. That expires not that yesterday. That's odd. But this will go through the day on your Tuesday, mainly for tropical storm force winds at the coast. And we have that tropical storm watch in effect for the mainland communities. And our primary concern there, again, is going to be the buckets of rain. Looking a little bit more defined this morning, 70-mile-an-hour tropical storm with pressure down to 994 millibars, and it's starting to make that turn. It was northwest yesterday, north today, so it's going to go right into the Carolinas. A lot of convection, a lot of heavy rain, especially after it makes landfall, and then it's going to start to expand, and it'll slowly gain extratropical characteristics. So kind of like a nor'easter, but our winds are now the northeast. They're going to be out of the southeast, which is another good thing for us. It'll push that water ashore, giving us the opportunity for high waves and minor tidal flooding, but it's not a northeast wind. You know what a northeast wind can do. A lot of saturation here. The dry air that was out ahead of it kind of being etched at. So there is prime real estate, at least for the next 12 hours, for it to intensify before it makes its landfall. Plus, there's no real wind shear between where it is now and North Carolina. That'll eventually change, but for the time being, it's going to feed off of the warm water, and that's going to help build it. Wouldn't be shocked if you get winds to around 80 miles an hour, but Hurricane Center is going 75 miles an hour just to the southeast of Savannah, Georgia, making landfall somewhere between South Carolina and North Carolina, and then it weakens into a tropical storm. By the time it's over our area, I think that track is probably through Cumberland County. That's what makes most sense to me, but keep in mind that the heaviest rain is on the northwest side of the center. So if it passes east to Philadelphia, Philadelphia is going to see the heaviest rain. Camden, Gloucester, Salem, Mercer, northwest Burlington County. That should be where the bullseye of the heavy rain is going to be. Then southeast Pennsylvania. Then it's going to continue up into New England and going into Canada at some point. Flood watch in effect, flash flood watch for the entire state. I think your best chance of that's going to be west of the Parkway, even more specifically west of Hamilton. But we'll leave the door open for heavy rain for everybody. I've adjusted my totals from yesterday, not because it's not going to have a whole lot of moisture with it, but because it's going to be moving at 30, 40 miles an hour. So it is going to rip through our area. It's in and out, again, in less than one day. I mean, the worst of the weather is 4 to 6 hours. So you're going to get all of this rain, which makes it worse for flash flooding. Because even if you get 2, 3, 4 inches of rain, it's coming in 4 hours. So you're going to be dealing with these flooding situations. I have 2 to 5 inches in the yellow area, and this is supposing a more westerly track. So that would put the center somewhere around here on the northwest side of it. That is where your heaviest rain is going to be. 2 to 5 for Philly. You could actually get some areas, especially right in here, of 3 to 6 inches. But at the coast, I only have 1 to 3. So not only do you escape moderate to major flooding in most circumstances, you're not going to get anywhere near major. But in the worst case scenario, if things were to change by a few hours and the heavy wind come in during the high tide and whatnot, maybe moderate. But I think minor is pretty much it. Our potential gusts, 60 to 70 mile an hour winds. These are random gusts. It's not going to be an all-day thing. Probably 3, 4, 5 hours of this. And not every gust is going to be consistent, but our max potential is 60 to 70. Ow, I just stepped on something. That didn't feel good. 40 to 50 mile an hour gusts through the heart of South Jersey here, getting up into Sayreville, Trenton, the Freehold area, 30 to 40 to the north and west there. Now, this is significant because if you're going to be dealing with 2 to 5 inches of rain in this area, it's not going to take a whole lot to saturate the ground. The antecedent ground conditions are in good shape right now. So it's only going to take an inch or so, and then everything else is just going to be excess. You combine that with the wind, and you get down trees, onto power lines, and it's just not a good situation. So I do think that power outages are going to be an issue. By the time we wake up on your Tuesday morning, winds are gusting to 30 in Cape May, 24 in Atlantic City. Not too bad on the mainland. But look at this. By 11 o'clock, so late morning, early afternoon is when we're pegging for the highest winds to start, gusting into the 60s for the immediate coast. But as I click, you'll see that they quickly back off. So it's a very narrow window for all of this. Then the winds start to shift out of the southwest again. Now, in terms of tidal flooding, I think the area most likely for it is going to be right here through the Delaware Bay, because you have that initial push out of the southeast that's filling up the bay, and then as the storm starts to wrap around, winds are going to be out of the southwest, and that's going to push the water towards Cumberland County. But the winds are going to back down, and then the storm is out of here for Wednesday, and sunny skies are going to be back. Winds calm down, and we'll be in a much better place. So it's a quick-moving storm in and out on Tuesday. Heavy rain and wind, 2 to 5 inches possible west of the center of circulation. Flash flooding and storm surge is going to be limited, thankfully. So we're looking at minor tidal flooding for some of you. 7-day forecast temperatures are going to be consistent this week, probably in the mid to upper 80s. Mainland, lower 80s at the beaches, partly to mostly sunny skies. No big issue. So stay tuned. I'll have updates throughout the day. And of course, I will keep you one step ahead of it all. Have yourselves a wonderful morning, and I'm sure we'll talk again very, very soon.